Yo,
Welcome back.
Souls of Liberty show. Souls of Liberty show. Souls of Liberty show. I want to start this show off by thanking the Queen, Beyonce Knowles Carter. She granted me access to pre-sale tickets. She will be around the corner at the Dome, and I will be a witness to the Renaissance. This is my favorite Beyonce album since the last time I saw her, which was B-Day. And I just want to thank her because she didn't have to do that. Everybody didn't get an invite, you know? And I did. And I'll be there. So,
Well, what was it based off of? Like,
I don't
how
know.
quickly you...
Ticketmaster.
Yeah, I don't know. She just added some mystery to her shit, probably. That's all.
Yeah, no, Ticketmaster. Nothing serious.
But it is tight that Beyonce going, because it's like,
now
this could be it. You know what I'm saying, for a while.
She got the Beehive where, like, her core fans got access to tickets that's, like, right down below, like, right at the stage. And it's got, like, a bar and, like, a whole bunch of stuff down there, like a restroom.
That's
like, so it's like...
What distinguishes you based on how much money you spent on the packages and all that shit?
No, I think maybe you already was just, like, a member of the fan club or, like, the Beehive. Like, it's an actual fan club.
Okay.
You
gotta subscribe.
I don't know. Beyonce fans, let us know. We're not really...
I mean, like I said, everybody on Twitter ain't in the Beehive. They just
I'm not hip to the
saying they the
mechanics.
Beehive.
Yeah, but there is an actual Beehive. Okay. I didn't know that. And they will be down there. And I got seats. Because you know what? I was like, you only get to live with Beyonce one time. And how much longer is she going to be able to go 2-3 hours like this? So I got some pretty decent seats. I'm not going to lie. I ain't got the closest seats, but I was like, you know what you got to do? Now, this is your trick. Most people look at the lists when they go on Ticketmaster. You looking at the prices. You got to go by the map and look at the seats. Because usually a section, you might get some seats in row N and row B. The row B and row N, they're the same price. You just picked the first ones that you saw. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I picked a different section. I'm like, oh, yeah, I go up a little bit more for that. You know what I mean? So.
No, it's not a bad seat in there. It's a pretty good.
Yeah, no,
I was actually there last night for the Blues game.
No, she at the Dome.
Oh, yeah, I'm tripping.
Beyonce.
I'm tripping. It was
this
Jones.
Beyonce.
It was Jones.
At the Dome. I ain't been to the Dome since
that's
Kurt
true.
Warner
I don't know
been
who
here.
is. You got to be down low. You get it too high in the Dome, your ass is...
You know what I'm saying?
You heard Beyonce, but you ain't see her. You know.
And hey, Beyonce live is still a vibe.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to be in the building, say what's up, Queen B.
Hey, all I ask is, Kia boys, just give them a break. Don't break in these ladies' cars, please.
Not tonight, man.
Act right.
She didn't got
just
a babysitter.
Act right for just a one night, two, or just act right.
Grandma watching the babies. We don't need y'all breaking into the kid.
Yeah, because we know y'all gonna be outside like a motherfucker.
Let us live, please, man. But
y'all gonna be old one day. No, just playing.
What else is? I went to Mardi Gras.
How do you feel about I heard it was cracking this year. I've never really been into it. I went when I was little with Aunt Lizzie because she loved parades.
I'll be completely honest. Like going to Mizzou, I have had. That was enough party for me. Like, I get it.
Yeah, that's
a whole bunch of people are here. We're kind of drunk. Like, I get the fun. You know what I mean? So it's like you do it once or twice. You do it like 15 times in your life. It's like, how many more times I need to do it?
That people really enjoy that about America.
But it was fun. I'm not trying to like make it not fun. Like, shout out to Biko, Lexidus. They were some of the homies that was DJing, but like Biko had his stage. Like, as a black person,
how do you feel?
You gotta find a black stage. And shout out to Trey. They had a stage down there at the BP over on Broadway, I think. But it's like
Trey who?
MC Trey.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of Treys out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of Treys.
Yeah. No, MC Trey. Shout out to Hustle City too. But
I mean, we that make me think about, because I think I was talking to Aunt Livy and them about this or whatever, and they really upset as older black women that black people don't have a parade that's ours anymore. And them taking the Annie Malone parade out of the hood kind of defeated the purpose, because it's like we can't afford to go nowhere for real. So it's like, if you bring it downtown, it's just like niggas got to find a way to get downtown. Granted, it was violence and other reasons.
I was about to
stuff
say,
like that.
You say the safety thing. It's a double-edged sword.
But either way it go, I get the reasons why, but it doesn't change that it's sad that we can't do our shit. But then when it come time to like do some French shit, and we not fucking French, shout out to Wembenyama. But I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't think I'm French, but maybe somebody was French back in the day. I don't know.
Was it Louisiana Purchase? Keep going.
But either way it goes, it's just like we got reasons to celebrate that history, but it's not our direct history. We just was like here. You know what I'm saying? No. But we didn't. So now that we doing that shit, just be interesting.
Well, I'll say this. You know, I don't live in the county, and I'm not from St. Louis. But, you know, the May Day parade was because of the community and the people that live there. So when the people stopped living there.
No, yeah, I get
why. I know you get it, but I'm just saying it's like, it is hard to keep that tradition up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Since we splintered off, you know what I mean? Because like you said, it's a much different decision you might have to make on a random Saturday to drive 25 minutes.
The city is changing. The city is, like I said, it's a new city.
And even that incident that happened recently.
With the young lady.
Yeah, around the corner from where we at. I was walking to a show. I walked by the accident scene. I was walking to do a show down the street. And I was like looking like, you know, damn, what's going on? And yeah, it's just disappointing that like it's like people say, do you want to be hard on crime? Which usually means prosecute brown and black people harder. Mm-hmm. Or do you want to defund the police?
Well, I don't think
reform the system.
I think it don't have to be so extreme, black and white extreme. But at the same time, the reason why let's go harder on crime. But I'll say this: if you gonna go harder on crime, let's go harder on education. Let's go harder on the things that create this crime. The reason why black and brown people are gonna be the most affected is because we lack the discipline and the proper upbringing to be able to be citizens, because we, unlike most places in this, and I just saw something earlier about we the only place that if an inmate got life, even if he didn't do this shit, he got to stay in there. Like we said, Missouri is last. We last in a lot of categories, and like, you know, I've lived on the top level of the Midwest. Shout out to Chicago. That's my second home. I love y'all niggas. We all we got. Shout out to Dez Money. But either way it go, if the South Side, I said we was on the South Side of Chicago. I'm like, damn, this is where all the craziest niggas supposed to be from in the Midwest.
It was a better run
nice
city.
As hell. You could fucking go to the park and do normal American shit. Even in the hood, you could go to Walgreens, you could go to Walmart, you could go. And we grew up in a city where we couldn't do shit.
They defunded the North Side.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
That's crazy.
We had a Schnucks, but
when you think back,
we got the worst food out of all the Schnucks. They shipping that shit over there.
Outside that Schnucks. Shout out to Liz. You know what I'm saying?
Like they be on bullshit with us, and it's just like we can't get no Applebee's, bruh. You from St. Louis, Norfolk? Everybody know. Besides Goody Goodies, rest in peace, Goody Goodies. Where can you sit down? And that is a major issue.
And you know why?
With our city, and that's why niggas going crazy.
It's on purpose though. We're never able for the city and the county to ever interact. I use that example of protesting because, I mean, this is in the 90s. We were protesting at the Schnucks on Union. And it was some white women out there.
Rest in peace, Liz.
Yeah, rest in peace to Liz. It was some white people out there who were protesting with us. And my mom tells me this story that basically the white lady said, there are people protesting, I don't know, in a white area at the Schnucks in solidarity, but also just like in their grievances, but they're not showing that. On the news, they only gonna show y'all and saying, look at the black people complaining when it was white people, you know what I'm saying, complaining about Schnucks doing the thing. So instead of St. Louis City, St. Louis County residents are complaining, well, look at this. Well, look at, you know what I mean? And it's like...
And it's bigger and it goes to our city because when you driving around and you see them building the new hospitals and the new corridors of the city that, you know, niggas not going to be able to be at for real. It's like, I look in the sky, cranes in the sky, I see Clayco. Clayco is Schnucks family, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it go to all the levels, and that's why the hard on crime should be some bullshit, because it's like y'all letting us be fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
So what we saying is,
and it's hurting everybody.
I think so. That means that we're saying,
but
like,
the niggas that live in the county,
you know, that we're for the defund the police, and people take that so literally when it's like we're asking for reform. Because to your point, if you go hard on crime, you got to go hard on education. And there has been an obvious
police officers
defund
too.
in education. You know what I'm saying? That's obviously going to lead to more crime.
Everything got issues, and it's just like it just need an overhaul. We just need to fix things. Like the structure of shit is cool, but it's corruption within everything. And like I said, it ain't even that many people growing up in this city that's fit to have a job no more, bro. We're not even making people who fit to be in the working class.
Because the education
and the working
is so
class
poor.
gap between the rich motherfuckers and the working class, I heard Bernie Sanders talking about it earlier, is larger than it's ever been before. So even if you are working, we damn near peasants anyway, still in the grand scheme.
Yep.
But it's like, here it's different because like you go like Texas, other people, you could get a fucking job and sustain and be a person. You know what I'm saying? Whereas here it's like everybody fake jugging, everybody, you know what I'm saying? And I get it because I'm from St. Louis. I get why motherfuckers be on what they be on, but it's because we don't got no skills. It's because since our freshman year of high school, over 100 plus schools have closed. This nigga finna leave, no disrespect to bro, but you not from St. Louis, bro. So you don't got no connection to these neighborhoods and these schools, and we allow people to do us any kind of way, but we in that state, and that shows the state that we in, where it's like we can't make a stand and do nothing now.
I think that St. Louis is an example of segregation and redlining working perfectly. You know, Chicago is a good example because it is a red line city, but the community was able, like if you live on 35th and you live on 100th, you voting the same pretty much outside of your local, obviously your neighborhood, but you're voting for the same mayor. I live 50 blocks away from some black people here and we're voting for different things. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that redlining of the city and the county has completely just stripped us of community. It's impossible. I want the same things as the black people in Normandy, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's impossible for me to actually politically, economically, we have to cross city and county lines. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just kind of baffling.
As long as the education gonna remain the same, bro, it's not gonna change because it's like I said.
So where does it bottom out at? I mean, I guess, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like we gotta be near the bottom if we not there.
That the city, well, I'm saying like bottom out, and then it turns into what the city just being white.
I mean, that's what it looks like.
Like, could St. Louis be more like Austin? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we savvy enough to pull that off, unfortunately.
But I'm saying, no, if you look at the South Side.
I mean, they saying they want to get tech people in here.
But I'm saying this. I'm just saying, like, in the sense of, like, you look at the South Side, and it has pockets of black people where they are and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the state streets.
You know? But if the North Side, you know what I'm saying? I'm a proponent that I think it's going to be another group of people that help expand St. Louis that's not here already. Kind of like how the Bosnians did in the 90s, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize at the time, I just grew up here, but I was like, oh, I didn't know that we had like a Bosnian community. Like, I didn't know like
and even
that was
before
a thing.
that, like we had different pockets, like Baden, you know, we always had immigrant
so
groups.
I just think that it's a possibility that with exchanging what they call it, the tanning of America.
I think the difference with this immigrant group is going to be to the cities. Like they're not going to be immigrant people. They're just going to be people from other places that see the opportunity that's here while the city is changing. You know what I'm saying? And capitalize off that and become new citizens.
Old black neighborhoods aren't just black anymore. It's just a completely different city. You know what I'm saying? Like, where does that leave our history? Like, where does that leave our legacy? Like, I've been to Detroit and it don't feel like this in Detroit. Like, though it is changing, it still feels like
it's Detroit still.
It has some sense of community. You know what I'm saying?
Like, them they not in Auburn Hill.
Like,
I don't know they county like
Big
that.
Sean High School, Cass Technical High School. What?
It's nice in there. You see?
That motherfucker is nice.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. We
have no high school in the city that's not a public high school that is compared to that, and that's a public high school.
And that's because our kids literally going to high schools that's like I was in McKinley the other day, and I love McKinley, bro. But it's like that shit
can't get no upgrade.
You know what I'm saying? That shit 100. It was motherfuckers that was going there that was in World War I.
Sumner can't get no upgrade.
You know what I'm saying? We looking at Sumner about the clothes, and that's why I'm saying, like, as a people, it make me feel like, bro, we weak, bro, because it's like Sumner this, Sumner that. Everybody got a mansion and went to Sumner and shit, and it's like we can't do nothing, bro. And it's like, you know, Vashawn cool. I ain't gonna come for Vashawn, you know what I'm saying?
I'll say this. And I think that has charged us up to want to create community.
To do what we doing.
Because we grew up with people who grew up in a St. Louis that was a mega city. And then our parents grew up in this declining city. And we watched the community deter.
When did it start declining? I feel like it was at its peak.
Hold on. The plans for the North Side, they defunded the North Side. Like, let's just use that as a term. But they cut it off.
30, 40
that
years.
That plan started in the 60s. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like if you were a black person and you grew up on the north side in the 60s, it was declining because they weren't putting in new community centers. They weren't doing things that make sense.
I will say something that has changed is like my grandmother didn't get to go to Harvard or do no shit. She was born in Louisiana, Missouri, came up here, whatever. But she was on the block unit with all the women that was in that neighborhood and different stuff like that. And so it's like we also aren't, but that's because they had a different standard of being average people. Well, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that is outside of our
institutions.
But even that, like you said, the economy. During that time, you could have a one-income household and afford a house and a family.
Yeah, it's like I said, times have changed.
But I'm just saying that to say to your point, like your grandparents at some point bought their house. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in the minority of people that, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to racism because they still got finessed out there, bitch.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, we're in the minority of black people that could buy a house. You know what I'm saying? Like, our family members, you know what I mean? Even looking immediately, you know? So it's so many factors that play into it. But like you said, like, we're like products of the shit going down.
Yeah.
And so it motivates me to want to create community. It motivates me to want to take it to newer heights and revamp the things that I do care about. You know what I'm saying? Like it depresses me.
We have a mentality of like we got to, and at one point we was like that.
Crumble.
We got to get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because it feel like a ship that's burning that's going down. You know, and that get us to our next topic: money. Money is God, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I done lived long enough to see that's got to be a true statement. Not to say like your relationship to money has to be that way, but money changes everything, bro. It has an impact in our society, and it's like people do wild ass shit for it. It's like everybody kind of got a price.
Well, I had a conversation. Shout out to Jordan Esperanza. That's all we do on the show. Shout people out. Shout out to Jordan, man. He has really dove deep into his like activism bag and community building, and he was talking about how his criticism of Earn Your Leisure, and how basically, you know, he's like black people need to be more maybe community focused. I don't want to misquote him, but basically more community focused. And now we got this group of people pushing kind of like just like black wealth and capitalism, when that is not going to benefit us because we are at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are the underclass. Mm-hmm. So it's just like,
I feel where you're coming from. I mean,
it helps
other
people,
communities have communities because they got money.
It helps individuals.
No, I mean, it could help everybody. We just don't all be on it.
Well,
I'm not trying to say what he's saying.
No. But I'm saying it couldn't help us because, like, to your point we were talking about earlier, it's just a system that's already playing against us. So in order for us to beat the system, we would have to play the game differently than everybody else.
Well, my counter to Jordan,
our group
would be, you know, to get money, you got to be smart.
Right.
And that's what they push into me more than anything. You know what I'm saying? And something I think something we do as black
people. Looking
people.
beyond the physical,
we always want to put it on one person. Well, fuck Jay-Z. He ain't changed this and that. And his kids just, you know what I mean? It's just like, what the fuck else can a nigga do? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we love to put do the blame game shit where it's like, it's Tishara Jones' fault for everything that ever happened. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, the money is a big piece of that because without money, you don't have no community. That's how communities literally happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Making that dollar stretch and making it be in there. And once you got money, you have more power to do different things. But now it's like we've become slaves to the idols are like of power. The illusion of power and money to where like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of accumulating money, now we posture ourselves due to the social media era to look like we got money. And it's just we've just become enamored by getting it, by
building. Actually, you know what I'm saying, infrastructure. I mean,
fake it till you make it.
And that's what they talk about, like, you know, black people not having trades, but that goes back to the education.
Yeah, like that goes back to that.
That goes back to the system. You know what I'm saying? Like, as citizens, I think what we're saying is we need to figure out a way to
because these kids should be mechanics, but they can't be. They out here stealing these motherfuckers instead. But if you could go jump in a car and steal that bitch in 2 minutes, you might be a mechanic.
You might be a mechanic,
you an engineer of some sort, but we don't have them opportunities.
Yeah, we don't got the trade schools no more.
The city has does not provide opportunities, and you know what I'm saying, and then the opportunities they do provide are only available to the people who can actually be citizens and stand upright and do certain things based on their upbringing.
Right.
And so we all know that you live in the Central West End, you live in pockets of the South Side that's nice and shit like that. Those city dwellers or either send their children to private school or metro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For the most part. And so we're not even they talk about allowing these companies that's coming in to not pay taxes in these areas or not, you know what I'm saying, whatever the shit is.
Let me build on that because the tax abatement and something that a sister, I don't remember her name, it was a young black woman who talked to me and Kelly about it, and she was basically telling us that, like, you know, people be afraid of that 15 years. You know, they don't pay taxes, but they saying like that tax abatement is what draws business to your area. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if I'm a big company and I don't plan on being somewhere for at least 30 years or so, 20 years or so, well, the business failed anyway. We weren't gonna get nothing from them, no way. But it's like MasterCard. MasterCard might have built downtown if people would have voted for them to get their 15-year tax abatement, because now it's already been 15 years. And MasterCard being downtown in St. Louis would change a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I do get people fear of that, but that's what I'm saying. If you're not going to participate, what's going to happen is somebody else going to step into your spot and they're going to participate and they're going to get all the winnings from it.
Think when people
and they
complain,
would have pushed us out of the city by the time they start letting the companies in when we missed our window.
Well, I mean, either way it go, we're pushed out. So it's not designed for us. Over. It is what it is. We're a permanent underclass at this point. So it is what it is, unfortunately. But I think with the main complaint is like the school system is not getting that shit. Whereas, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like now you just have a city, we're invested in the city, we get all these businesses to come, but we're not going to invest in the schools. Why? Because these ain't the type of the kids that y'all want to live here no more. You know what I'm saying? That's otherwise it would be like we would put the money in other places. I guess that's their biggest gripe that I saw that hit me was like, you know, when in other places businesses come and they fucking pay their fucking taxes.
That's not true. It just depends on what you're talking about. That's the whole reason why. I'm just saying this to you. Like, think about it. You're a corporate business. You don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You don't care. I'm just saying, like, you're gonna go where the deal is. Like, so I'm just saying, if you're a corporate business and you decide we're gonna build something in Missouri, if it's in St. Peter's or St. Louis, you don't give a fuck. You just care that wherever you build it, you gonna pay the least amount. Is the value. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you get to add on and you get to attract people and say, hey, well, now we at St. Peter's. You're 15 minutes from St. Louis. You go to a Cardinals game. You go to this. You go to this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the game is. And so that's why I think, personally, we've had a lot of non-progressive leaders in St. Louis in the beginning of the 2000s, not looking at where America was going. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. We
definitely way behind.
We were a major city at one point. We declined for 40 years.
These other places been did this shit.
So that's what I'm saying. Places like Austin. Like I said, we've been in the Midwest. We've seen Milwaukee. No,
Detroit.
not even going. Yeah, Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, Indianapolis. Like, there is a difference when you go to their downtowns and you walk around in St. Louis.
It's different.
And that's the interesting thing. St. Louis people are cool.
Yeah, we got a rich culture and shit. Yeah.
It's weird, you know what I mean? So it's like, who will survive in America? You know, shout out to Gil Scott Hair. You know, that's a deep ass nigga. They put Whitey on the moon, but we can't get books and shit. That's still going on.
It's still going on.
Still going on. And
it's not gonna change. I mean, it don't seem like it is gonna change. I hope it do. All we could do is what we can. How we doing on time?
I mean, we're doing good on time. We do like 25 minutes.
All we could do is what we doing, and that's building and having the community. Yeah, this episode is not training wheels is off. You know, what I'm saying?
Training wheels is off.
We are up and running.
How you feel about the song? It's the second. It's only been 2 weeks. It's out. We're going into the third week. It feels like since we've been working on this, we've been working on the music for so long that, like, now that it's coming out, I think my whole mindset about putting out music is different anyway, but it's just like, that's something I've been thinking about. Like, now I'm starting to think about videos for new songs, and I'm like, it took so long for It's Up to come out. You know what I'm saying? That now moving on to the next one, I know the next one not going to take as long. You know, just so many moving pieces behind the scene. I feel like I was so much more emotionally invested in putting shit out and the results and what people... What do you mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I don't care, but it's just like, I can't even answer the question real well. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing the growth. I'm enjoying people. Like I said, it means something to me that, you know, I come into the auditorium, they playing my song and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because I know that's because it's a kid here that love me, that love what we doing, that want to play this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So from that standpoint, you know, I really rock with just how people been taking to it. They have come across it.
Yeah, people see it.
You know,
it's been a very positive feedback.
Yeah, it's been no negative feedback.
You know,
and that's my biggest takeaway. It's no negative feedback. We dropped a little hit, you know, but hopefully by the time the summer come, it's at a different point and really has spread and, you know what I'm saying, grew to a point where, you know, the city could appreciate the record.
How do you want to spread it? Like when we talk about, like, you know, the city and just music. I think this is kind of interesting, like, you know, thinking about our whole platform and like what we've built, and we have kind of grown as artists and men, and like we put out music for different reasons than we did before too. You know what I'm saying? Like our approach to the art is a lot different. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a lot more unapologetic about it. I feel like before I was trying to not fit into a box, but I was trying to make it more palatable for people to understand it, where now I'm much more about making sure that I express what I'm really trying to say. And I express like my vision more than I'm trying to make it, you know, digestible. And you talk about spreading it, you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
I think it's just, I mean, we know what we gonna do ad wise. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that we gonna do to push it. We only got so much budget in real life. You know what I'm saying? We not Universal and no shit like that. But what we are doing is experimenting and trying to figure out ways to garner what it takes to make it out of St. Louis, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people,
an experiment, so to say.
Yeah, it's an experiment where the people who moving around in St. Louis right now, you know, Jordan Ward got his thing going right now. You know what I'm saying? He got a little hit. You know, he up to a million plays on his shit. Breakfast Club mentioned him, so shout out to Lil Bro, like, you know,
expensive taste.
But he didn't make it because of St. Louis. He took a unique route. So I'm dancing.
Yep.
My dancing talents got me to a different
industry.
Yeah, got me to the industry, and then I walked to the other
side. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So whereas, you know, like say Smee was in Chicago, he did his thing out there, boom.
Music,
but it's like, it's a lot of artists here that just hold on to this dream of just like, St. Louis, we gonna make it. You know what I mean? Like we just always we're gonna become Detroit and or whoever city it is at the time. We're the next Atlanta. We're the next.
Right.
And it's just like, that shit not true until somebody break through.
Right.
And make something a sustainable way for people to get to these different platforms and elevate. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we in the early stages of striving to figure out. It's not really about us. It is, but it ain't.
So we're trying to create a business and a platform for artists to be able to stay here, but also feel like they have an avenue to put their music out.
Yeah, like I said, it's a new city.
Not even just music.
Yeah,
art,
just to do anything, because it's like like I said, the lack of opportunity here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so we've got on the other side of it, got out into the industry in our own right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Peasy, shout out to At the Stew, everybody doing their thing.
Yeah.
But now that when we got up on there and was able to see it, it was like, oh, okay, well, shit. It's not that crazy. It's possible.
Yeah.
But it's just about the people. And we realized that we got to be them people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to be them people for the people like us going forward. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. It's not even a mystery. It's just like nobody from here is...
Or it's just not going to happen.
Nobody finna make it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not set up for niggas to make it for real like that.
Unless somebody sets it up. And here we are.
And we got a lot of people moving around doing stuff, like you said, but it's not...
All roads still lead back to Rome. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know... Everybody would love if it was a door here that would take you to Hogwarts.
Our scene is more... this might get me in trouble, but nobody watched this shit anyway. This scene... St. Louis scene is more of like a social club than it is actual art scene. And I'm out. I appreciate you.
No, you can't leave on that note. What do you mean?
Like...
Because I disagree with you.
Okay. I mean, to me, from my perspective, it just seemed like... And I might be a hater. I don't know.
Or like who? Not like people. I'm just saying like, you mean rappers?
Yeah, like we was talking about music. Like our music scene, you know what I mean? It's
Our
different.
music scene. Okay, you said art. You was like,
Well, yeah, I
you
mean,
didn't
well,
say like
my
rapper.
bad.
My
You
bad.
know,
No,
we got
okay.
some tight artists from here and
the
shit,
rappers,
but,
you feel like the rap scene here is more social than it is people trying to actually think tank and figure out ways to get into the industry.
Yeah, or work together to create something to do it. But it's just like we're real cliquey, we're real competitive amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? I taught everybody, because I guess in my relationship it's like because of who we are and the fact that I really don't be giving a fuck about a lot of shit.
Right.
I become friends with different people and hear people talk shit about us and hear people talk shit about other people.
Right.
And it's just a real high school ass overall, you know what I'm saying? Or like say, Mastermind doing this thing at the whatchamacallit now, but it's gonna be people who
hate on
somebody
him.
don't like that, or
Yeah,
he
but
did,
I guess,
you know what I mean?
guess
It's just like it's always, and maybe that's every city,
that's wherever you are, whatever
but
you're
to me,
doing.
it stays in that space because niggas is getting advanced in age, bro.
It does stagnate
and
us.
it's just the space is just not.
No, I agree with you on that.
It's not welcoming. It's not inclusive, in my opinion. It's just because, and I'm only regurgitating what people tell me because like I said, I don't
you're not really in the
consume
scene.
it. Yeah, I don't consume. I don't care what the fuck these niggas drop. I mean, I love everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not actively consuming and going to their shows all the time. I pop out every blue moon. I go see something, and it's good to see shit grow. But it's like, is this just on face value? Are niggas here to support, or are they here so niggas could see them? So when they put their shit out, so we can, you know what I'm saying? Or can I do? And that's how it feel to me, being the more the Machiavellian type nigga that I am. Well, you know what I'm saying? I see that from the different stories I hear. Motherfuckers is like Sia be doing her thing, but it's some niggas that it's a side of the game that don't like Sia, or it's some people, you know what I mean? It's just always something. And instead of us coming together and just talking about our grievances and our issue, they'll go and be like, man, what the fuck Ryan be doing? Ryan think he better, you know what I mean? Instead of being like, no, let me talk to Ryan and see let me ask Ryan, because this city's small like that.
Right.
So when you see a nigga at the grocery store, you could just not act like you never seen me in your life, even though you done known me for 25 years.
Right.
Or you could be like, hey, I had an idea. I feel like, damn. See, I'm just using C as an example because everybody hates C. Shout out to C. But, damn, C, you stole my idea. I feel like that made me feel this type of way because we feel like we put this much work into it, and then you all just took it and did it out in such and such a place, and we offended, and so now we just gonna hate you privately.
Right.
But you still come to our shit, and we still come to your shit. And
okay.
But I'm just here to save face.
Let me build on that, and actually we can end on that. That is really good. That is a real thing in St. Louis, and I guess my answer to that, to all the creatives, would be, we just were talking about one of our videos, well, be creative. If you come up with a good, this is America, and one of the rules is great artists steal. I don't necessarily atone to it myself, but I understand it. But point is just saying that is, you have an idea, somebody else has a similar idea. Well, this is capitalism. It's a free market. So unless you could go through the trouble of copyrighting and going through all the business so nobody can steal your idea and try to own the event outright. But I'm going to be honest. More than likely, whatever the fuck you're doing in St. Louis, somebody's done it in Miami. Somebody's done it in New York. Somebody's done it in L.A. Somebody's done it in Houston. Somebody's done it in Chicago. I'm willing to bet my dollar on it. You know what I'm saying? So point in saying that is, so what's your next thing? And that's what I think artists like, people like Brock, that's why Brock is successful. That's why stores like Profil have been successful, because it's like, or been able to implement themselves in a community that had a void, because it's like, well, what's the next thing? Not looking at what somebody did similar to them and getting caught up on that. Are we creating or are we not?
Well, my thing is, even beyond that, what you have a good point is the conversation piece.
Yeah.
Because it's like, instead of you harboring resentment towards your brother, we need each other. We the only niggas that got some common sense. And that's what I'm saying.
Make the event bigger. I'm with you.
It might be worth having that conversation, because she might be like, you know what? Let's say someone's XYZ person did steal your idea, and you like, damn, bro, that make me feel weird as a creative. That's lame to me. I'm really not feeling that, bro.
Right.
And that just really offended me that you would do that.
Yeah.
And maybe that could open his, like, you know what, bro? I apologize.
I didn't mean that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit was tight, and we just thought that if we But instead of having this common ground, because we got to work together, it's not that many of us. But then we end up clicked up. Well, I'm just giving an example. The Force,
clicked up.
Main Monarchs, this, and it's like all these different factions, and it's like we not big enough city for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think
we
that's
the only niggas
something
that's consuming cool shit
and as a group, that's something that as Souls of Liberty that we're working on. I know I'm taking on that challenge myself because I see that. Like, we do need each other. And I keep saying this what I'll end on, but that is the thing that I learned from somebody that I look up to in the way they did shit is Joe. Joe Fresh Goods. Joe, his photographer and his this and that and his this and that and his this and that, they stay within the community of using each other, and he would go outside of it, but he was stamping that person. And he was bringing them along for their journey and it elevated their career. You know what I'm saying? Like, people he used for this, we using them for my agency shoots. You know what I'm saying? And St. Louis has that same ability, but to your point, it's the clickiness. And like I said, we feel like that is our role. That is why we are being critical of it.
Our people who in the spaces like a Joe Fresh Goods that's on that same level, not doing what Joe Fresh Goods is doing. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, on the outside, you know what I'm saying?
No,
not even on the inside looking. On the inside looking out.
They're not. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's just like, but they do interact with these people, and those people get their little clout off of it in their St. Louis social group.
Right. So,
but from a business standpoint, like you said, giving somebody something that they could put on their resume to where it's like, okay, boom, now Naira, you done came here, film lawyer, you did this, and I don't know all their credentials and shit.
Right.
But because you've done this, now your value is this.
Now I will say this, and I'm glad you said film lawyer. You know, I'm proud of Drew because Drew has he's talking to me about he's trying to build industry here. So he's taking his talents and saying, oh, this thing needs my talents, and it'll take that up. So if I can use my talent and take that value up, well, I'm taking my value up too. And that is like what more creatives here should be doing. You know what I'm saying?
He's always been out of here.
Yeah, he's always been ahead of the city. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on.
He's an outlier.
You know what I mean? And so it's like you said, people like Naira are bridging those gaps between the art community and even people like Nico, yoga, and the LGBTQ community. Like her crowds, like when I DJ with her, I love her crowds. Like,
intersectionality.
They are the most inclusive crowds. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel welcomed. I feel like they, you know what I mean? Like, the energy is always right.
And maybe next week we could talk more about that because, you know, you talk about us being black people and not having a community. But when it's time to pop that pussy, everybody come out.
Right.
That's the only thing I've seen us be able to do. If they voted at the club and shit, you know what I'm saying?
That's kind of y'all falls down. You know what I'm saying?
But that's, so it's like we do show that we have the ability to come together over shit that we fuck with. We all come out for Beyonce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all come out for certain things, but when we gonna say as a city stand up and come out for what's most important, and that's our quality of life. And, you know, the quality of life of these babies out here, bro, because it's real fucked up out here, bro. And it's so, you know.
Keep fighting the good fight. Souls of Liberty until infinity. Souls of Liberty show.
Yeah, stay safe.
Yeah, man.
Hey, if you in St. Louis, look both ways before you hit that green light. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Get home.
There is no drive education here. I'll tell you that. Shit.
Rest in peace to the not rest in peace, but prayers to the family of that young lady once again who lost her legs. We don't got space for that.
Nah.
And, you know, y'all on Kim Gardner head, but we'll see what happens. She said it ain't her fault. Peace.
Kim Gardner, a.k.a. Suge Knight. Let's go.
That's inappropriate.